Hello, my name is Brooklyn Ambrose, and we will be discussing the obesity epidemic. Okay, so when I was doing this presentation, I came up with 5 key questions that I think really explains the disease that we're going to be talking about today. And the first one is just a basic knowledge of what obesity is. So obesity results from calories being taken in more than they're burned through exercise. And this is determined through a system called the BMI, which stands for body mass index. When yours is greater than 30, that is when you usually reach the obesity area because of the excessive fat that you have, which can cause many symptoms to health issues. So, what is a BMI? A BMI is a system that was made to determine whether someone is overweight or underweight. So, this system is a chart, and basically, it takes in consideration the height and age and weight of this person and puts it into the system and tells you if you're overweight or underweight. And it's very controversial whether it's a healthy system, but it basically determines whether you're obese or not. So, when did obesity become a problem? I feel like when people think about obesity, it's more of like a recent issue. And that's what I got from the research that I conducted. It was more prevalent in the 1960s to the 1980s, then the line kind of flattened to where we are today. So, this is when obesity and child obesity became like a bigger issue than when it was before. What are the causes of obesity? So I tied in causes and health issues into these 2 slides that you'll be seeing. Obesity causes usually physical inactivity paired with overeating. It can also be because of genetics, which is usually something that happens with any kind of disease. Psychological issues and medications, intake of extreme carbohydrates, those things kind of develop obesity. Health issues that obesity brings, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure. I came to the conclusion that most of these diseases are caused when there's excess weight pushing down on vital systems in the body, like your arteries and your lungs, and your heart, which causes a lot of the diseases that you can see on the screen. Okay, so who does obesity most impact? Um, Adult obesity. So something that found surprising was with adult obesity, 20s through 60s are basically the same in the rates, 40s, 44, 42%. Those are the percentages of obesity in those ages, which I found to be very interesting. When you move on to child obesity, you see that the rates are lower, significantly lower, mostly because children are more active. But you can still see that the rates are pretty high for a child to be enduring. 2 through 5 is in the 18%, but when you get to 12 through 19, you get to like the 20%. So that's what's going on in the children obesity area. So, in what country is obesity most prominent? What you can see is, I feel like obesity is mostly, when you think about obesity, you see it in the US mostly, and that is sadly true. The US is has the highest rate of obesity. Next is New Mexico, not New Mexico, sorry. Mexico, New Zealand, and Hungary. They also have the highest rates of obesity in the world. The lowest rates of obesity are in Japan and Korea, which I actually didn't find as surprising as I thought. I feel like these rates are pretty accurate, and this was taken in 2017. So I also have a map. This map basically shows the rates of obesity throughout the world. And as you can see, the darker areas are the ones that are most prevalent in obesity. And you can see the US is a dark purple. And in the countries that I mentioned before, you can see that their obesity rates are higher. So, I mean, lower. So, doing this presentation, I learned a lot about obesity. I kind of chose something that I thought I already knew a lot about, but it's really nice to like know that you don't know everything and you can always learn more about something. Um, Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. And yes, bye.